right, everybody, it's February 19th in the afternoon, and it's Judy Jam. We got a lot of people here. We've been doing some homework, and we're going to, mostly today, be looking at homework, and then we'll see if we want to break up into groups and go for there, okay? So I've just been talking to Alex, who's very passionate about his message and wrote a book. This is Uma, who's going to be helping me in the coaching, and we're going to move on. So, hi Amy, hi John, good to have you all here. Ed, Victoria, and we're talking about today figuring out who our audience is and getting very specific about it. In the last Judy Jam, and the last Judy Jam was really exciting because I made a challenge that I would give a free 30-minute private to the first person who emailed me with a gig that they're going to do. Someone they called. So what's so great about that is I didn't realize everybody needed prizes to be motivated, but I'm glad it worked. And so it's the most important thing is to, like, metal to the pedal, call somebody, volunteer to speak someplace, get something on your calendar. Otherwise, this is all theoretical and isn't as effective. So, Victoria, you sent me something, so I'd like to go look at that right now. I just want to finish just a little bit with Alex, because Alex, you did I like this. What do we do when life deals us an unplayable hand, right? What do we do? Yep. And I think it's like, not only what do we do, but how do we regain happiness? How do we overcome? How do we think of something else besides do? How do we?
Some days.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, shit. Okay, so that's really great. But let me go to Victoria now. All right.
Can I record it?
Huh? It's being recorded right now.
Do I have a choice to record it for myself?
I recorded and it's on YouTube. It'll be right on YouTube. But sure, you can record if you want. Okay, Victoria. All right, so let's have Annabelle. Annabelle, can you see this?
Yes.
I want you to meet Victoria. Victoria, let's just pretend you're a meeting planner.
Yeah.
And you're going to introduce Victoria. So let's have a little energy and enthusiasm. And you want to give this a go?
Okay. How many of you have a voice inside you that desperately needs to be heard, but you think that no one will be interested because it's too traumatic? How many of you wish that your children would be so proud to tell your story to their children? How many of you are thinking that I could never write the book? Our next speaker, Victoria Williamson, is the daughter of Holocaust survivor and was born in former Russia, Azerbaijan, Baku, a Muslim state. She came to America with an engineering degree, but without any knowledge of English. She had to learn English at 28 years old, re-educate herself into physical therapy while raising her 7-year-old daughter. Victoria has written the book about her mother's story of surviving. She feels that she needs to tell the story because others 6 million Jews killed during World War II cannot. Afterwards, she will be signing her book. So speaking about the voice that needs to be heard, please welcome to the stage Victoria Williamson.
Okie doke. Yay, Victoria. Victoria, I really feel you have moved into a place that is really terrific. Okay, that you have moved into, like, especially the beginning, making it about the audience rather than this, I'm going to tell my story. Okay, and I really want to commend you with this. I'm really proud of you. And you really like had resistance to it, and you stuck with it. And I think we are on the right track now. So I really want you to be proud of yourself. Okay. Who do you want to speak to, Victoria?
I think next generation, younger generation.
Well, that's like millions of people. So that's unclear. Are you going to speak at Jewish events?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think you should focus on Jewish
Christian, Muslim.
What?
Jewish, Christian, Muslim.
Are you Muslim? Are you Jewish? Are you?
No, I'm Jewish, but
You're Jewish.
It's because I'm speaking of adversities.
Mm-hmm.
It applies to everyone, everybody right now. Even Mexicans are persecuted right now.
So right now, so so right now we are living in a place. Okay, how many voices? Desperately needs to be heard, but do you think that no one will be interested because it's too traumatic? That's kind of a heavy load to say at the beginning. And I don't think a lot of people go, yes, I do. Do you know what I mean? Certainly not in a public setting. So I think we have to, how many of you wish that your children would be so proud to tell your story to their children? I'm not sure what that means. And how many of you are thinking, I could never write the book? What book? Do you know what I'm saying?
A biography or any book.
But
everyone has a story, but not everybody think they can write.
Okay, so I'm going to write some other things, and I want everybody to help me. I'm just going to write some things, and we'll see how many people relate, and everybody can chime in on this. How many of you are carrying the weight of your parents' lives? Okay. Is anybody have that sense that you're carrying the weight of your parents' lives, your parents' troubles? Anybody? Okay, Amy, you are. So we got one. Okay. Annabelle, you're not. Okay. So what are some the things that we can go, carrying the weight of your parents' lives? How many feel that right now we are unearthing the hatred of the other, persecuting people just because of their religion or their nationality. Okay, does anybody relate to this sentence? How many of you relate to this sentence? Yes? That we are, okay, are you noticing that in today's environment, we are building walls rather than understanding? Okay, so let's maybe take, and maybe anybody else have another one that a child of a Holocaust survivor could write? Anybody else? Anything else?
What would the idea of helping others write their story, is that too much, Judy?
Well, it depends. I would do that if I'm working in front of writers, but many people don't write.
Okay.
Certainly
What about how many of you are afraid that we've forgotten the lessons that we learned?
Yes, that's good. We're building that understanding, and that the new generation has no regard for history, for all the lessons we've learned, through history of demonizing others, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so anybody, what do you think?
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Yeah, Ed.
Judy, I would take out the reference to walls. I think you're going to lose a lot of your audience if you start politicizing it this way. I don't think it needs to be there.
What?
The reference to walls, building
Right.
walls.
The walls rather than understanding. But that's really what's going on, right?
I disagree. I think we may be, if we're turning out what happened in the Holocaust, that's different from building walls. I think that's a very different concept. I think you're going to lose a lot of your audience before you set foot on stage.
Well, you're talking about she's performing for like the Jewish Federation, the Jewish League. It would be her decision, but thank you for your opinion. Okay, so I'm not sure about this or this or this. Demonizing others. Today, I'm keeping history alive so that we don't forget lessons learned. No, not she is. Today, we're keeping it so we don't forget lessons learned. Is a daughter of a Holocaust survivor. Period. Okay. Victoria who came, who, now, did you grow up Jewish in a Muslim country?
Well, it was atheist country. There was religion prohibited, but yes, Jewish was in. They instead of national, they put religion in your passport.
Right, as his father, and dealing with. Now, when did your mother die?
She didn't die yet.
Oh, and dealing with her mother's trauma.
She was a child during the
trauma. Yes. After her speech, okay, Victoria will be signing her book. Okay, insert title. Okay, all right. So speaking about the voice that needs to be heard, please welcome to the stage, Virginia. Okay, great. All right.
Okay, how about the humor?
Well, it usually takes me a couple hours to write an intro, but yes, follow the instructions, and so you can go, how many of you feel the weight in your life? How many of you feel you're carrying, unreading the hatred of the other, persecuted just because their nationality, or how many of you are having trouble because you gained 5 pounds? Well, yeah, I don't know. You would make it like the list of 3. So.
I see.
Okay, so that's for you. And do you want to take a screenshot of that?
Yeah.
You know how to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, and
thank you.
Sure. Okay. All right. So now let's go to okay. Let me just go. We have a couple more. Say this. for you. Just give me 1 second.
I just want to say one thing. Annabelle and I, we are accountability partners. And we we spent an hour yesterday storming through, and we came up with that. It was great.
Yeah, it's just such a different thing when you get together with somebody. It's like it's impossible, to do on your own. So I
highly recommend to get a partner.
Yeah, it's so great to just have a partner. All right, so let me just go. Amy, I have your stuff right here, and then we'll let's go here. Okay, so I once got a joke on the David Letterman show, the top 10 things heard at Survivor, the Australian outback. Get your shrimp off my Barbie. Funny. So what are we doing here, Amy? Are you there? Are you still here? 1 second. Unmute. Okay. Okay, there we go. So what are we doing here? What exercise is this?
This is the coming up with the message of you.
Oh, okay, you want to do that. Okay, I have a joke that starts, can you imagine if men got their periods instead of women? Imagine all the butt slapping during the cramp, and you can imagine the commercial. These are act outs, or do you do act outs here?
Yeah, that's the one where you were asking us to start out with, can you imagine, as an exercise for writing?
Yeah, what's the premise? Can you imagine if men got their period instead of women? What comes after that?
Well, it's just, I have this thing about the commercials, like what the commercials would be like. Would be like, instead of a lady on a horse, it would be like a man in a fighter jet or something. And it's just kind of the opposite of what.
Okay, but do you know what a premise is? A premise is? Okay, so a premise is what's missing from most amateur jokes. Not that this is amateur, but I'm just saying that it's premise. Can you imagine if men got their periods instead of women? What's the premise? Answer the question. What would happen? They would probably, because men compete with each other, they'd probably brag about how large their flows were. Right? Oh my God, I got to use those Rambo reservoirs. I passed a clock. It was this big. All right, sorry, I'm getting gross. But the premise is, it can't be got appearance instead of women. I can imagine the commercials. No, it's missing the premise. What is the point of the joke? What is your opinion, your hit about it? So my hit about it was, because men are competitive, they might be bragging with each other about, how big their flows are. And then I do the act out. But the premise is missing. So you always have to put, what are you talking about? What's your point of view?
Okay.
So the comedy is the answer, using comedy as a tool to make empathy, okay? Between different people, using comedy. Oh, comedy to diffuse conflict is nice. That's a nice little alliteration. After private laugh at my jokes gets me. All right, sounds good. I believe in tension between our tribal. Ooh, this is good. Oh, I love this. I love this, Amy. Please develop it. Fill out. Who is kids? Oh my God. Okay, fill out the message statement with that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good. So let me just save you here. Okie doke. And then I have, let's see, who else do I have? Okie doke. Anyway, there should be a way I could mute everybody. Hold on 1 second. Glad to have so many of you here. We're just going through homework. We're almost done, so let me just continue here. Okay, so now we have, what else do we have here? Oh, we have Cecilia. Cecilia, are you here? There you are, hon. Good to see you. Let me share this and at the end of this today, everybody, I will leave and I'll let you all talk among yourselves so you can hook up with each other in any way you want. Okay, so this is your message of you homework. Your ideal audience. Do you want to read this for me, Cecilia?
You know how women in business need to speak powerfully and persuasively in order to be respected as leaders? Well, the audience has this problem. They lack confidence to present their ideas in front of people. Their voices are monotonous or sound timid. Then when they do speak up, they're accused of being shrill.
Okay, hold on one second. So far, so good. Women in business need to speak powerfully. What?
This was your idea that you gave me.
Oh, well, it's very clear. There's one thing missing, and I'm going to write it here. They just have to add, but you're on the total right track. Consequences.
Okay. Okay.
So right, so right here, so women are and I would just cut this like this. They lack confidence to present their ideas in front of people. Anybody, let's all help her with this. What would be the consequences of that problem?
They're not as successful as they could be.
Get more specific. That's kind of weak.
They don't get promotions. They're not able to close.
Right. Who's getting the promotion?
Their bosses.
And how old are their bosses? So make it even worse. They're watching people younger than themselves get promoted.
Ooh, okay. Let's
right.
A real pain point.
Yeah, they're watching people younger, less experienced, and then I'd put some act outs in that. Okay. Consequences and act outs, What would an act out be of that? What would you be thinking when you see, what do people say when they see someone pass them by who's less experienced than they are, and yet they were passed up for the promotion? What do they, what do they say?
I'm a loser. Or
they don't necessarily say that, but they're going like, why him and not me?
Okay.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? And how do I stop people from interrupting me at meetings? How come I can't get my ideas out?
Okay.
So why don't you add, act out. Those are act outs, people. When we do a speech, they have to be all through it, where you're acting out that,
Mm-hmm.
and respected as leaders. Now you said the word respected. Mm-hmm. So that's why I was thinking you should add one of the problems is that they're interrupted.
Okay.
Do you know that being interrupted for a woman is considered one of the number one thing?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, in the Obama administration, a lot of the women complained about the environment was one of interruption. Mm. And did you hear what women did?
No.
Did you hear? Oh, it's very interesting. Women in the Obama decided that when a woman spoke an idea at a meeting, another woman would repeat it. Go, wow, Mary, that's such a great idea to change it to a 4-day week, around 5-day week, and in order to do that, so women would magnify with each other the idea rather than compete.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that was one really positive technique to change the environment. Okay, then your credibility, go ahead, continue on.
From my professional experience for over 30 years as a singer, entertainer, and performing arts educator, including concerts from Boston to Bangkok, teaching at top schools, including Berklee College of Music, 15 years of presentation coaching, and founding my own voice studio. I don't know,
I love that. If that's what you're doing, then I would put in here more about, instead of the ideas to, is that when they, speak out their ideas, they don't get heard, they get interrupted, right? Blah, 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 blah. They get interrupted. They lack, and then the consequences of that, and, being overstepped affects confidence, right? People, so they stop. Their voices are monotonous or sounded, they stop. Or when they speak with hesitation.
Okay, great.
Hesitation, or too loudly, either sounding, timid or shrill. I mean, I would put in something about all the women running for president and the criticism they get. Even women running for the presidency, are criticized. What do they say about, first sounding, criticized on the way they sound. Okay, right? Right. Examples, right? I know Elizabeth Warren has been criticized. Hillary Clinton has been criticized, for whining. But the quality, so the quality of the very quality of your voice can lead you to assume a leadership position or put you in the position of never being heard.
Wow.
Okay. Or your ideas acknowledged. Okay, so that's a little more powerful. It's still rough, but you get where I'm going with it. Continue on from okay, we did that.
Is that specific enough? I mean,
yeah. I'm a voice expert. Over 30 years as a singer. Singer, I would take out entertainer. Doesn't have to do with anything. A singer and performing arts educator. I've teaching the top Berkeley School. 15, founding my own voice studio called whatever is the name of the. I speak on the power of voice. I would say the power of voice to something.
Okay.
Right? The power of voice to something like the power of voice to something, to succeed, to something, to go someplace. In addition, I draw from my personal story, struggling to scrub for a way to take acting, as a struggling single mother who scrubbed her way to pay for acting classes, learn more power. Well, we already said, and acting to pay for voice lessons, to pay for. I know how by transforming your voice, you can transform your career.
Oh, this is amazing.
Huh?
It's amazing.
Okay, it's still rough, but we're getting like the ideas there.
Yeah.
And I'll show that they can. Okay, I'll show the audience insert 4 bullets
Okay.
here, okay? Because you kind of already said this, but I want, I want bullets here.
Okay.
How to overcome being interrupted
Okay.
without being a bitch. You know what I mean? I want bullets, right?
Okay.
How to, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I do this by missing how the voice works, to demonstrating ways. I do this in an interactive 60-minute keynote or in a half-day training session, right? Something like that,
Okay.
where, where I use voice exercises, blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right. So I'll save this, and I'll take and just shoot me an email. Say, Judy, send me what you worked on. Okay.
Thank you. This is amazing. This is wonderful.
Oh, good. Glad I did something good today.
I'm sure.
All right. Let me just save that here. All right. Done. All right. Then we have somebody else. I know.
You have mine.
That's it.
You have mine. You have mine, Judy.
Who's yours? Who is
Annabelle.
talking?
Annabelle.
Oh, I have yours here someplace.
Annabelle.
Okay. I'll have to call it up. All right. Meanwhile, while
I sent you some jokes too, Judy. This is Sarah. I sent you some jokes I was trying to work.
All right. No worries. I'll open this and.
Judy, it's John, you have mine there too.
Oh yeah, I do. What happened to all of them? Wait a second. I know I opened them. So give me 1 second, people, and I want to get to everybody. Oh, here's John's. Okay, I saw it. Sorry, I stuck it down someplace, so I got it. All right. Okay. Okay, John, yours has come up first. Okay, so let me get this here. Let me just get this a little bigger. Okay. When problems develop, deal with them before they become disasters. Lessons learned from craft investigations. Oh my God, I love it. I love that. It's very specific. And crash. I think this whole thing can be shortened to really short. When problems develop, deal with them before they become too wordy, okay? Lessons learned from an aircraft crash expert, right? Aircraft crash or investigation. All right.
Hey, John, you're on mute, so you might want to unmute yourself.
Done.
There you go. I can hear you now. Okay. I just make this shorter. When problems develop, deal with them before they become disasters. It could be disaster avoidance. I mean, you could deal with in just 2 words,
Right.
Crash, an alliteration might be good. See what you can find to make that smaller. Okay, so as an engineer, professional pilot, aircraft with more than 40 years, I found that most aircraft accidents happen not from a single mistake, but from a series of mistakes and problems. In almost all these cases, recognizing and dealing with any of these problems would have broken the chain of causation and prevented the accident. In some cases, even serious problems were dealt with when it was taken. Can be applied in any situations to prevent minor problems from becoming disasters. John, this is fantastic. This is really great. Can you put it in the message of you format?
Sure.
And can you write your introduction?
Sure, I can do that.
And because I want, have you ever had a problem get out of hand? Do you know what occurs to me? What occurs to me is I was with a friend and her son, and she was stopped because one of the lights, her tail lights was out. Next thing you know, they're taking the car away from her because she had so many outstanding parking tickets. And it's like, what point in that process did you go, like, you know, I mean, this applies to so much. So in the beginning, we want to go, have you ever, you know, some things to really get us in, right?
Mhm.
Right. I just had to pay $23,000 because a sewage pipe broke. And I guess the problem had been going on for a long time, and all the pipes had to be replaced. It was $23,000. I called like a roto-rooter. They said it would be $120 to root out the system, but it ended up being $23,000.
That's what happens.
If I knew about it, I could have taken, you know, I didn't know that pipes don't last forever. But anyway, I think you need to relate it in those kind of terms. Does that make sense, John?
I think so. Nothing related up front to something they can relate to.
Yeah, and I think if you do the introduction, you write your introduction according to the introduction template. I think that'd be really fun to read, and you know, to get some of these things, and to do the message of you formula. I just think you could make a sensational video about this. It's very interesting, and it just hits me. Yes, right?
Good.
Super
Good.
great. Totally on the right track. Really, really interesting. I think it would be a fascinating TED Talk.
Okay.
TEDx talk.
I agree.
Yeah. It's just like, wow, what a great idea. And you truly are an expert in preventing emergencies. I can also see you, you know, as far as the investigation goes, there's always a point where something should have happened here and it didn't.
Absolutely.
And I think we can all point to places in our life, and right now what's going in our life that, you know, if you only did this, you know. I'm thinking now about flossing. I certainly should have put out, like my chest is now like turning into some kind of lizard thing or something with age. I'm going like, why didn't I put sunblock on my chest? You know, it's just like all that stuff. There could have been one moment where I just changed one small behavior and everything else could change. Fascinating talk.
Okay.
Don't you love how narcissistic I am that I'm comparing my chest to people dying in an airplane crash? Okay. How selfish is that? How shallow is that? Okay, well, I'm from LA, so that's where that comes from. That's so funny. Oh, Annabelle. Is Annabelle, you here, hon? There you are. Of course you are. All right. All right. Oh, all right. Who wants to read this? Who wants to read this? Ed? Rob. Hey, Rob. How are you? Nice to see you. You want to read? I'm gonna give this. Could you pretend you're a meeting planner? Okay. And read this with some. I'll make it a little bigger. Read it with some enthusiasm. Okay.
You want me to read?
Yeah, Rob, you read it.
You read or Annabelle's reading?
No, Anna, this is you're going to be introducing Annabelle.
All right, let's see here.
Starts right here. Go ahead.
We may have to put the glasses on here. No, that's too much. How many of you would say, I've made a mess of my life, and I'm so glad I did? Our next speaker wrote a funny ebook about it. Why beat your head against the wall? Learn how to remake your life and live creatively. Our next speaker started life in a foster home, but she was determined to find a way to succeed. She was kicked out of the house at 15, a self-described slow learner. She earned her GED, then went to Job Corps and learned to be a secretary. She fought her own demons, Now living in a beautiful home in Germany with her loving husband and mother of 2 amazing children and grandmother of 2 beautiful boys, this self-described slow learner now teaches for a living. She travels the world doing stand-up on stage, speaking her truth and providing hope to others who think they can't become someone worthwhile because of the cards they've been dealt early in life. Stop there or keep going?
Keep going.
Listen,
Of course, she'll be sharing her links on a free webinar. So speaking about how to be creative about your definition of success.
All right. Yay. Thank you, Rob. That was great.
thank you.
All right. So I'm going to say I made a mess of my life, and I'm so glad I did. Okay. That needs a little explanation after that. Right? Rather than wrote a funny ebook about it, I would put this someplace else. Now that, okay, watch. Here we go. What's the title of your book?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm writing it now, Judy.
Well, find it called blah, blah. Okay, good. All right. So how many can say, I would go, how many of you, let's try something different here. How many of you blame, your lack of success on, things that happened to you, right?
Mhm.
Right? Right? How many, and then what are some act outs we can do on that? Anybody?
Let's see. Oh.
My parents didn't love me.
If only my parents were rich,
Mm.
right? You know what? What? If only my parents were rich, what?
If only my parents.
Wouldn't be eating Hot Pockets for lunch, for dinner. I don't know. All right, something like this. If only, I'd add funny ones. Okay.
Mhm.
Our next speaker is going to show you that if you've made a mess of your life, be glad you did, right?
Mhm.
Something like that. And then you would put, okay, okay, and be glad you did. Something like, Annabelle
Mhm.
is going to, Annabelle Badium. Okay, so you go, Annabelle Dana is the author of Bum Bum, right?
Mhm.
She started life in foster home, but was determined to find a way to succeed. Where were you kicked out of? Kicked
The
out
house.
of her foster house at 15,
Mhm.
I wouldn't put self to just describe, labeled, I would put labeled by the system as a slow learner. She earned a GED, went on to Job Corps, became, and not a secretary, an executive professional, right?
Mhm.
In professional, and are you a single mother?
No.
Okay, that's okay.
Mhm.
Right. you know, kicked out of president, labeled her. She fought her demons, earned a degree, and become a passionate for as well as a professional stand-up, you know, where she turned her frustrations into funny. Okay, so then go. Okay, beautiful. Okay, I should. Oh, I see. Okay. Did job and is currently a teacher, and her prized success is creating a loving family in a something like that. I don't know, just doing it so quickly. Okay. Okay. And okay. Very frustration, something like that. Traveling, you know, the world. I'm speaking truth, and you know, doing stand-up period. Okay, you know. So if you think what has happened to you has stopped your success, you'll want to hear our next speaker. You know, I know it's like speaking of truth, and providing hope. Okay. I would change this a little long. How to be creative about your definition of success. But okay, you want to take a screenshot of this so far? It still needs help, but I think it's getting there. Okay.
Okay. What is it? Control P or what's the screenshot?
Just email me and just email me and say, Judy, send me what we did today, and I'll send it to you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And now we have boom. Somebody else. Hold it 1 second. Kiddo. Oh, and Carla's here. Hi, Carla. Let me just go. All right. Oh my God, it's getting a little late here now. I've been doing this for a while. Just give me 1 second, people. We have here Cecilia. We did you already, right? And then
you don't need to go over my jokes.
Was there someone else? I always like to hear a good joke.
That wasn't mine, Sarah. I sent you a few. I'm struggling with jokes.
Okay, so but you did jokes. Okay, I'll look at them. But let's break up into twos, and I just want people to, you know, connect with each other, and yeah, that's fantastic. How about? Oh, I'm looking. Carla said the disaster avoidance lessons learned from. Yeah, I wish we could get a D in there. Disaster to. D, you know what I'm saying, alliteration. Anyway, let's just break in groups a little bit. Okay, 5 minutes each to connect, and there's not really a exercise now, but it's just to like who are you performing to? Like, who are you going to call to have your next gig? You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to do it automatically here. 1 second. Breakout rooms. Well, I guess it's making me do this. Okay, Amy, I'm going to put you with Sarah and help her with her jokes. Okay, all right. Sarah, I know you're going to be working with Frank King. Did you get that email that showed like what you're supposed to fill out?
I did. I sent that all in, and I'm gonna.
Oh, good. Okay, so that's working.
And it all works automatically, so you can be
Glad
Okay.
it worked.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so this is where you just 5 minutes to kind of like chat, what's going on, you know, and don't worry about who you're with. This isn't a dating thing. You're just committing for 10 minutes total, okay? So I'm going to open all the rooms, okay? And have a good time, and I'll look over some your jokes. Okay. Okay. All right, we're back from the break where everybody got together, and now we're working on something, one of the turning frustrations into funny with Sarah. Go ahead, Sarah.
You might not know this, but PMS is actually a Sanskrit term for how would you like to play Russian roulette?
Better, much better, okay?
Okay.
And always in comedy, don't drop the Russian roulette, yeah?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I gotta be Eastern.
Don't drop it at the end, okay?
Okay. Should I do the next
Go
one?
on.
You might not know this, but PMS is actually an old Latin term for if you look at me again, I'll rip your eyes out and make cake pops out of them.
Okay. You want to do a turn at the end?
Sure.
All right, so we're making love or what? You know, like you reveal that as, you know, you're on a date or you're, you know.
Okay,
You know.
I'm so confused.
What? If you look at me again, I'll rip your eyes out and make popcakes out of them. So anyway, you find me attractive?
Oh yeah, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I'd like another drink and let's go home together. You know, like you know, so it's like turn.
Yes.
A turn is where you you know, you turn it. You turn it.
You know
Okay,
what's really funny is that's what you would do if you had PMS too. You do one thing
Yeah.
and then be like,
Yeah,
oh,
and then you
what do
go,
wanna do?
so do you find me attractive in this dress or what?
Okay.
No? Well, okay, go ahead.
Okay, you might not know this, but menopause is actually a Sanskrit term for I'm so hot, I walk around naked all day.
Or
I don't know, some of these words.
fancy word for hire me if your house needs heating.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I'm trying to come up with jokes for women.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
okay, go ahead.
You might not know this, but breastfeeding is actually an old Greek term meaning the only body part that can sag 5 inches in 6 months. I don't know. That one wasn't good.
Super size me.
Super
Yeah, I
size.
love that. That's funny. Now, you're trying, how would you do these jokes in your speech?
Well, you know, they say, like I've been watching some things and you kind of want to have some comedy or you know, comic strips or something up front. So I'm not sure if I would just do some of these to kind of break the ice. I don't know. I just thought I'd work on it.
What you do is take terms in your speech. Rewriting your life is actually a Sanskrit word that says, this time we're going to do it right.
Okay.
Does that mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you never want to these are what we call hack topics. So you're starting with a topic that everybody has made fun of for the last, you know, since the caveman days, and or I don't know what the cave women did, but whatever. So you want to start, you don't want to have a funny topic. You want to have a real topic that's in your speech.
Okay.
Right? So take the title of it. So you cannot do jokes like these kind of jokes would not work in any kind of, you know, PMS or saggy tits or breastfeeding, or especially if you're a woman. And if you're doing corporate, you can't even refer to your body, you know.
Okay.
I don't. I wouldn't suggest it. HR wouldn't suggest it. They're very strict. Okay, questions, and then we'll call it a day. And I'll leave this open. So anybody have something to ask me? 1 second. I'm trying to.
Judy, how would you use, I'm a singer, how would you use that in a speech? I've done that a couple of times, but what's an effective way?
Watch Mike Rayburn's video, Mike Rayburn, and watch, Carla, what's that woman who, oh God, she's a singing she's a motivational singer.
Stanfield.
Huh?
Jana Stanfield.
Jana, Jana, Stanfield. Yeah, so watch her videos. So anytime you want to know, gee, this thing I want to do, is anybody else doing it? Do some research. And if someone else is doing it, that's not the bad news, that's the good news. You know, that means that, you know, there's a market for it. Okay? Anybody have any other questions?
Yeah, I've got one. I see you're recording this, and so can we log on later and watch it again so we can?
Yeah, 100%. There's a video channel you can subscribe to. What's today? Today is Tuesday. By Thursday, I'll have it up. And it's a YouTube channel, and if you just subscribe to it, you'll get notified. But I always send out an email to everybody.
The message of you.
And we can watch.
Yeah, it's a message of you with a link to watch it. And then if you subscribe, whenever anything gets uploaded, you could watch it. And you can, you know, if I gave you notes, you can hear it there or whatever. Okay? Who's a dog? How cute.
That's me. That's our.
Yay.
We have a part-time dog boarding business, and he's letting me know it's time.
Oh, I need help with my dog tonight. Anyway, so this is what I'm going to do, everybody. I will, let's just see, how do we do this? Manage participants. Okay, I'm going to.
So the next time we talk again will be on Thursday, March 7th, is that right?
Yeah, there's a link to the calendar, you know, and it has when these meetings are, and then every Monday or maybe by Tuesday, I send out an email usually once a week with information about the next one and the public webinars. The public webinars are always recorded, and you have full access to all of them. So if you miss something, that's it. But the next one is, the next Judy Jam is, there's a public webinar on the 26th, How to Make a Living Telling Funny Stories with Jeannie Robertson. And this is March 7th at noon is the next one. Okay? All righty. So I'm going to just say goodbye, and you guys can chat and what have you, and you know, put your stuff in there or your contact information. And you know what? Have as many buddies as you can. And I got to tell you, one secret to success is helping others. As a motivational speaker, what are you doing? You're teaching the audience. You're helping others. And one of the ways to learn how to do that is to do what I do, like help people write things, help people do things. It all comes back to you. Anyway, I'm really proud of you guys. You all did great. And, David Cruz, did you apply to the TEDx talk in Temecula?
Not yet.
Not yet. I'm going to apply. So maybe we could do one together. That would be so awesome.
All right, I'll tell him.
Okay. All right. I'm going to.
When is Temecula?
Temecula, it's a TEDx talk. A lot of us are working with Frank to get private coaching on applying for TEDx talks in your neck of the woods. Okay, so
is he helping to write the speech or just
well, here's the theory on it, my theory on this, because it's very expensive to hire someone to write a speech. It takes many, many hours. So what Frank is doing is we broke it into threes, and in the last email there was a link to a website where you can go, let's apply, and then if you get in, there's going to be a second interview. Let me help you with that. So the first one is very complete in 3 hours. He'll help you do the video, get your message, get your title, fill out the application. And he knows what he's doing because he's got accepted to 5 of them. So anyway. All right, you guys. Bye.